Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in, come on in. Yes, it is about to be a marvelous evening. Just marvelous, darling. Once you get in, go ahead and hit them hearts and hellos and everything. Hey. So I know when Destiny gets on and Jevon, I'm gonna get them on here. Do y'all see this new update on here? So I'm seeing the hearts and the thumbs ups, but I'm also seeing like these little heads. And I'm like, Um, I'm seeing them little heads and stuff. Let's see. I'm trying to see if they popped on yet. Alright, I'm not seeing them yet. Hey, you guys. Hey, little Vicky. Hey, Sarita. Hey, Yvette. Hey, Blue. Hey. Hey, you guys. Hey, Makeda. Hey, Makeda. Hey, from Kansas. Hey, Joanne. Hi. Hello. Hope you guys are ready. All right. Hey. All right. Where is my brother? Hey, Destiny girl.
What's up?
Let me move myself up a little bit. I'm trying to, let me go see. Let me see if Jevon is watching yet. I'm not finding Jevon's name yet. All right. I keep forgetting these comments are gonna minimize once we get on here going. um, hey. So that means I'm gonna have to come over here. Jevon, where you at? All right, let me check again. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Adding. I'm glad I'm muted over here, so I can read the comments as well.
Hello.
Hey.
All right, good evening.
Yes. All right. So we are on here. Do you want to take it away, Jevon, or you want me to kind of introduce you guys and then you introduce us?
Well, so let's do it. You already on. You started saying hello to people, and go ahead, take it
Yeah.
away.
All right, you guys. So good evening. This is going to be a discussion, an open discussion. With us tonight, I have with me Destiny Smith and Jevon Martin, and we are going to give you guys a treat tonight. Destiny and I both are HIV positive, and Jevon is like our cheerleader, you know.
Advocate, I'm the ally.
Look,
I'm here for
he's our
y'all.
cheerleading advocate. He is a huge support to the HIV and AIDS community and a wealth of knowledge as well. So we are going to be on here doing this with you guys. I'm going to let Jevon moderate. He's going to do everything and go from there. I just wanted to let you guys know who was on here with me. And we're going to get started.
Yes, support system, right? Thank you for that. So you did a great job. Like you have been doing this for a very long time, and it takes a lot of courage and strength to tell your story and to keep pushing forward, you know, to eradicate HIV on a whole, not only for yourself as an individual, striving to get these numbers to zero and just be push on. You have a whole family, and Destiny, you as well, talking about your story over and over again. Sometimes it brings up, feelings, emotions, and you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart so that other people will know what's going on, because people are taken advantage of, when it comes to HIV and AIDS. Some people are like, oh, I got it, so they didn't tell me, so I'm going to go ahead and infect the next person, not thinking about we have to break that pattern. It stops here, like the campaign HIV stops with me, right? And that's how it works. So I am proud of the both of you for sharing your story, giving up your time, because the both of you, like I said, have families, right? Big families, right? And y'all don't have to do this, but y'all are doing it to make sure that other people know what's going on, and that it's possible. And HIV is not a death sentence. So I appreciate the both of you, and I love y'all for allowing me to be in your space. And so just a little bit more about me. I am a producer, and I just am an advocate and share the stories of those living with HIV, right? Surviving Voices is the whole thing that I've been a part of since, I want to say, 2017, and that's with the National AIDS Memorial in San Francisco. And I have had the privilege to produce 2 of their documentaries. One, HIV in the trans community, and then the Black community in AIDS. So if you get a chance, you can go to the National AIDS Memorial and check that out on their YouTube channel. So let's talk to Destiny, right? Yes. So Destiny, yes, you go first. Yes, because I want to talk to you a little bit about this shirt that you have on, right? Living in your truth, right? So let's talk about this. You have some, items that people can support you and buy. Dude, yes, come on.
I do. Well, hello. So I'm Destiny, y'all. I am a 27-year-old African-American woman. I am HIV positive. I have been 5 years this year. The day after Christmas is the day that I found out. I am a published author, so I do have a book called Living My Truth. You can find it on Amazon. And then I do have sweatshirts and shirts. I'm working on my website right now, so give me a second. Just follow me and you can get the merch. Follow me, you can get the merch. I go live on Facebook all the time to normalize the conversation about HIV, because it can happen to anybody. It does not discriminate. It don't matter what you look like. It don't matter how old you is. It don't matter who your mama is, your daddy is, what kind of sex you like. It can happen to anybody. So that is me.
Good job. So listen, follow me and get the merch.
Okay.
Hashtag that, coin it, follow me and get the merch. So now let's take a minute and talk to Lady Bird, because you have been doing this much longer, and let's talk about what you have available for people.
All right. You say what I have been up to?
Yes, what you've been working on.
So I have been working on a 3rd book. I've been working on that. I actually posted the cover of it today, and I think, who took my picture? Was it Destiny or you? One of y'all took my picture when we were in Puerto Rico. So that's the picture I chose for the cover of my book.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And so that picture, along with the title of the book, it's levels to this, okay? Because it truly is levels to this. And so that book, I'm hoping to have, it's going to be released January 1st, so New Year's Day. It's coming. It's coming in hot.
Okay.
And then on top of that, just continuing to educate. I'm going to be continuing to do my lives. I'm going to go into the next season of my podcast. So my podcast is Lady Bird Live, and it's basically just me talking about things that I'm dealing with or what I'm experiencing throughout this journey. My podcast episodes are typically not very long because I'm very direct. So it just gives people that insight to what I deal with and what I go through and some of the things that I find. Because what I'm finding is that I forgot a lot of stuff. But thanks to Facebook and the memory section, I can just go in there, let me see what I did on this day in the past. And Facebook just tells me, and I say, oh, you know what? I got a story. Let me tell this story. So that's how I've been finding inspiration for my podcast through my memories. And I'm in school. This was my first semester back in school. And right now I'm going to school to get an AS degree in health and being a health navigator. But my end goal is to become an infectious disease physician. That is my end goal. That is like what I'm looking at when they say look for the stars. That's the stars that I'm looking at. Okay, and so that's what I'm doing. That's my current things, and just like I say, sharing and educating to you guys.
Listen, the sky is the limit when it comes to education, and you're doing it, right? Just by us having this conversation right here, we're educating people. So you said your third book. So where can people find your first and second book, and what is the name of them?
Yeah, so my first book is Married But It Can Happen. That is my autobiography. It can be found on my website. I'll put it in the chat. And it can also be found on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, pretty much any retailer that sells books, you can find it on their website. That book, a lot of people love, we love Amazon. So, hey, that's the easiest place to go. I just got the box in today. So I have a case of 60 books available literally now. And they can be purchased on my website. The ones you get from me, I autograph and sign. And then my team book, which the physical copies will be here tomorrow. The team book is HIV Around Me. That one is exclusively on Amazon. So you're not going to find it anywhere but on Amazon. And both are in ebook and physical copy form. And like I said, they'll be on my website. I'll post it in the comments for everybody too.
All right. Well, congratulations on those. And so, look, we have published authors. We are doing the work, and I'm so proud to be a part of this team. So I just want to tell you all a little history about how we, came together and ended up working together. We all three of us were a part of a cohort social media team for the conference on HIV and AIDS, which was held in Puerto Rico this year. So we all went and we did our social media campaigns, and it was really nice. It was my first time going back to Puerto Rico as an adult, and I had an amazing time, and the people were very welcoming, and the conference was different, being in another country where there's a little language barrier, but we made our way around. We were driving all over the place, and we had so much fun, and it was really nice getting to know the both of you and becoming a big brother to the both of you. And it's just really good when you do something from your heart. It's not work, right? And amplifying your voices is what I can do for you to spread the word, because awareness is needed. Still, this is 2022, and people are still being infected and affected by HIV and AIDS. So it's really important for me, to amplify the voices of HIV. So again, that's why I'm here, and I'm just so happy to be a part of you all, right? And so, Destiny, let's talk about your experience in Puerto Rico and about your social media campaign.
Dang, what was my social media? I think my social media campaign was young and HIV positive, living my truth, unapologetically. So basically, I was 22 and pregnant when I found out I was HIV positive in 2017. So I was a young adult. I actually got it from somebody I was in a committed relationship with. So I wasn't just out here sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry. It was somebody I trusted. I definitely take accountability for my part in the situation, for not being a person that asked about testing or went to go get tested together. But also, I wasn't given the option. Like, to this day, I don't know if he knew that he was positive, but if he did, he didn't tell me. So, and then my experience in Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico was the first in-person event I've been to, the biggest event I've been to. Only known through online platforms, so that was amazing. I got to meet you guys, so that was amazing. It was definitely a great experience. I got to learn a lot of new things about living with HIV and just being around people who understand what I go through every day. I got to grow my support system. So Puerto Rico was definitely amazing, and it opened a lot of doors. It opened a lot of doors and gave me a lot of great new connections and a lot of people I can now call family. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of people, amazing people that I probably would have never have met had I not contracted HIV. I always tell people my HIV was definitely a blessing in disguise. I wasn't one of those people who was just like, well, let me go sleep with everybody and pass it on because it happened to me. No, I fell into a really, really bad depression, and I just didn't want to believe it. Nobody talked about it in my community, so I didn't know too much about it. I thought I was going to die. I asked the lady how long did I have to live and what was going to happen to the baby that's inside of me. And that was no longer the case. Like, anything that I have seen or heard about HIV has been from movies. And by that time, the person that's the actor has progressed to AIDS and they're about to die. So that's the only thing I knew. So now I am that person. I didn't see that person, so I created that person. So now the conversation is being had. Nothing but God, the conversation has moved past my community, and I've been able to hit millions of people and hit people in other countries and hit people all around America. So the conversation is being had, and we just got to continue to normalize it. Not normalize contracting HIV, which everybody thinks that's what I'm saying when I say normalize the conversation, but normalize that actual conversation. If we're having these conversations and we are getting people that is already living with HIV the help and the treatment that they need, U equals U. So undetectable equals untransmittable. I cannot pass this on to my partner because I am on treatment and I am taking care of myself. So I can get nasty just like everybody else. If we want to be technical. If we want to be technical. So we just have to, if we normalize the conversation and we talk about it, we can change the world. We definitely can change the world.
Yes. And that's the most important thing, is to have a conversation about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what is missing. Talking, right? A lot of people don't speak. I'm keeping it on the I and me. In my early years, going clubbing and hanging out and, chilling, or whatever they call it now, Netflix and chilling. Is that still a thing? right? And and things lead to things, and people forget about, you know, contraceptives, condoms, and PrEP, right? This is something that I've been working on a team with, injectable PrEP, right? I have been working at UT Health to get people to be a part of a study, right? And the study is for injectable PrEP, right? So the thing is that, you know,
Look, I'm sorry, Lady Bird in the comments just like me, because I was ready to interrupt you. Like, I said what I said. I can get nasty.
It's
Just like
Mr.
everybody
Nasty time.
wait a minute. What happened? Somebody said something about
Somebody was
being
like,
nasty.
you can't get nasty. You can't be
Really?
nasty.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Right.
I
can.
I am
Deep
You can
also
get
down
down and
there.
dirty safely.
acceptable. I take care of myself. I can get nasty.
Yep,
Just
you can
like
get
everybody.
down with the get down
Okay.
safely.
That
And this is
part.
why I'm talking about PrEP, right? So there's ways that you and your partner can continuously have, you know, sexual relations, right? Safely. And that is the important part, but you also have to talk about it, right? Because if you don't talk about it, then you won't know what to do. So that's why we're here talking. I see people putting up the wow expressions, but yes. So yeah, you can. So let's go back to Lady Bird, and can we get your feedback on how Puerto Rico was for you, and if you could tell us about your social media campaign, and yeah.
Yeah. So Puerto Rico for me was a whole experience. First, that was my first time ever leaving the 48 state, like leaving what they call the mainland. So that was really an experience for me. Being at this conference and meeting the people that I met, like meeting you guys, meeting everybody else, it was just amazing because we all came to this conference with one thing in mind. We wanted to learn from each other. And that's, I think the biggest thing I took away from it was that I learned so much from Destiny. I learned so much from you, Jevon. I learned so much from all the sessions that I went in, just walking through. It was just an overall experience of learning stuff. The what do we call it? The plenary sessions where we're all in this big room and just hearing the different things, especially when it comes to how they're dealing with it in Puerto Rico, being that they are out here on this island with limited resources until we send it to them. How they're able to still have the drive and the tenacity to say, okay, yes, we know we're in this small area, but we're still going to do whatever we need to do to make sure that people here are getting the care and the education and information they need here. So that was really huge for me. And then with my campaign, so I chose live healthy, get tested, because that's what I'm always talking about. Literally, I'm always talking about, you know, even though I'm HIV positive, I'm living healthy. Guess what? You want to continue to live healthy. Wow. And you want to go and get tested. I just say, let me just merge the two together. Live healthy, get tested. Because if you're living healthy, getting tested is going to come automatic. You're automatically, because you're being healthy, you're going to the doctor, you're getting those yearly physicals, you're getting exams, you're getting the testing done, you're going to live healthy. So it just kind of all fell together for me with my campaign. So I just can't wait to see how it's going to flourish. And it's already, look, it's already done hit Africa, child. Hit the motherland. Sure. So I'm just gonna keep pushing forward my campaign. I can't wait to see how everybody's campaign just unfolds, because it's so many different ideas and all of us coming together with these different ideas. I was just like, man, we are some amazing people. Yes.
Yes, yes. It was so much fun and educational, and what's his name? Brian? Brian's campaign
Listen,
was
Brian campaign had me like, wait a minute, I could have did that.
he is a social media king. I have to say that because he knew exactly what he was doing. He got key people at the conference to say his hashtag. And then he recorded them saying it, and then he made a video of them saying it, and it went viral. So that was really good, and we need to take some lessons from him. But you know, it was great. It was really great. And so Majestic Queen said something to about as long as you inform your would-be partner, you know, of your, I guess, HIV status, because that's the right thing to do. And then she said, it's no offense, you know, God bless, right? So that's where we're saying, have a
Read
conversation.
No,
right?
no. What we not gonna do is sugarcoat that question.
At all.
Because I read the whole thing. You ain't read the whole thing, sir. It says, okay, would be partners prior, then they will decide whether to be nasty with you without protection. I think that's the right thing to do. No offense, God bless you. First of all,
without protection,
no one said anything about not using protection. That is the misconception of being nasty. Doesn't mean because you being nasty and you a freak and you want to do whatever it is you want to do, you want to hang from the chandelier, then you can still do that with a condom.
And I love
did
when
they
people
not
say,
hear me say that?
I love when people
people say no offense. That's
you don't you don't
say
no offense.
You don't see this?
It usually means offense is coming.
You don't see what this says right here? This whole thing right here, contraception, right?
Condoms.
She took what I said and she ran with it.
She flipped it backwards.
Whatever
but, you know,
this means to her is absolutely fine. We are not judging you, ma'am.
Right.
But I said what I said, and it's not going to change what I said.
Period. So this is what this is about, right? It's educating, it's learning, and whoever that would-be partner is, you have to have a conversation. Like, you got people jumping in and out.
Let's talk about the people who don't know their status. Are you guys having those conversations? You can't be, because if you was having them conversations, the STI and the HIV and the syphilis rates would not be where they are. So let's not just come to us, because we know our status. I'm undetectable. Like I said, I can get nasty because I know my status.
But even if you were, right, you can still have sexual relations safely, right? And that's where miseducation comes in at. You know, people think that, oh, you're HIV positive, you shouldn't have sex. You should just be abstinent, right? Don't touch me, I'm not going to touch you. Don't drink behind you, don't eat behind you. And that's uneducated, right? Like, we're not in the 80s anymore, right? We're 2022, and people at this moment, there are still some people that are in the dark when it comes to HIV, right? Because they don't have access, which you can Google it, but you know, not everyone Googles, not everyone Bings or whatever it is, what server you use. But the bottom line is, have a conversation, right? Know your status, right? If you're worried about whether or not your partner is going to tell you the truth, know your status, right? And go with your partner to the clinic, sit there with them. When they come out the room, sit there and say, hey, can I see your paper? If they say no, that's their option, but then it's also your option to say we're not having sex, right? Until I know that you're negative and I'm negative, or you're positive and I'm negative, but you're undercare and I'm undercare, and we're both taking the proper precautions, right? You have to have a conversation, right? Because we not out here saying, oh, I don't care and I'm gonna infect the world. Some people are, but this conversation here between the three of us is about educating. It's about inspiring others. It's about empowering others. It's about letting the people that have HIV know that we're here for them and we're amplifying their voices. It's also the ones that have passed away due to complications to HIV and AIDS, that we're uplifting their voices, right? And we're also lifting up the voices of those affected by HIV, right? And so this is why we're having this discussion today. And this is why Renee and Destiny have these conversations on a daily basis, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. Some young person that's out here and don't know anything about HIV could be listening and saying, oh, wow, what is PrEP? And I'm going to tell you a little story. I was on my way back home from Puerto Rico. And for those of you that know me, I take the wheelchair access because I can't make the trip, depending on how long it is, from the gate to outside, and I have to sit down like several times. So I just do the wheelchair, right? The young man that pushed me out from the gate, I asked him, questions. We were just talking in general, and he was young. He was like 19, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, do you know about PrEP?" And he was like, what's PrEP? And the reason why I had this conversation is because a young lady walked by, and nice looking, nice shaped body and everything. And he was licking his lips, and he was like, oh my God, look at that. And I was like, yeah, look at it. You look at it. I was like, do you have a girlfriend? He was like, nah, I'm hitting and moving. I'm hitting and moving. And I'm like, oh,
now he hitting and moving.
Yeah. I said, but are you protected? And he was like, yeah, sometimes I wear a condom. I said, sometimes? I said, young man, do you love your life? And he was like, yeah, what you talking about? She looked clean. I said, look clean as in she washed today? I said, you can't see her blood type. You can't see if she has syphilis, gonorrhea, or any of that from looking on the outside. Okay, you can't see if she's HIV positive from looking on the outside. You can't see if she has herpes looking from the outside. Right? And so he was like, you know what, you're right. So I told him where I came back from, because we were just having casual conversation. And he was like, so what was you in Puerto Rico for? And I told him about, the HIV conference on AIDS. And he was like, oh, wow, I didn't know nothing about that. I don't, I'm not even dipping and diving, like that. And I'm like, but you just said that you was hitting and moving. So, like, come on, we have to do better. So I talked to him about it, and I told him about PrEP, and I gave him some information about injectable PrEP, right? And I also gave him some information on, how to stay safe. And he thanked me. I gave him my number, and he hasn't called me. I should have took his just to text him and say, hey, is everything good with you? You need some condoms or something? Talk to me, But you have to have a conversation. It starts with talking, right? And if you don't know what you don't know, right?
Okay.
So that's it right there, when it comes to sex, right? But let's talk about other ways that people contract HIV, right? There's needle usage, right? When you have, people sharing needles, that drugs, right? Also, what about blood transfusion, right? But we're doing better, filtering blood and the surgeries and What if you get pricked by a needle? If you work as a nurse or a doctor and someone that you're drawing the blood is HIV positive, we do have pills for that too. But it starts with a conversation, right? And again, you don't know what you don't know. So you have to talk, just like what we're doing here. You have to talk, ask questions, right? Because if you don't ask the question, you can't get the answer, and you'll go through life assuming, right? And we all know what happens when you assume, right? Because don't be making an ass out of me. You go ahead and figure it out on your own, and then come and ask a question, and we can discuss it. And Google.
Google is your best friend.
And not Wikipedia, Google, okay?
Right.
Wikipedia.
Definitely. And so, just listening to you two ladies and learning, your stories and watching, how things happen. There are people out there that are not going to tell you their status. There are people out there that are deliberately not telling their status, right? And that's where you have to be mindful that not everyone is going to tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. So you have to make sure that you're on your P's and Q's, and you make sure that you're advocating for yourself and making sure that you're getting tested and that you know your status, not just on World AIDS Day, not just on the testing day and the International Day of Testing, and you get tested before you have sexual relations with someone, and wait a few months. If you're intimate, get retested, right? Just because you're being faithful to your boo doesn't mean that your boo is being faithful to you.
That part.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Rosalind said not all are infected, but all have been affected.
Oh, that was me.
Ways. Oh.
I was responding. Yeah,
okay.
I was responding to someone in the comments.
Okay. Yes, definitely. Yes. That is also true.
Yep. I do want to say, just to everybody that's on here, it's like 100 people on here. This is an open discussion. I am the queen of questions and answers. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below in the comment section. As long as it is not disrespectful, it will get answered. Make sure you guys share the live. You don't know who needs to hear the conversation. Hit the hearts at the bottom of the screen. We love to feel the lovings. Jevon, I don't know if you want to go back and read some of those comments. It was a few paragraphs.
I got you. I'm already there. I got you. But I also wanted to take a moment and share my campaign. Yeah. And my campaign was "Do you see me?" Right. So hold on, because I have mine right here.
Yeah. Look, mine right here too. Now don't play like we can't just reach out and touch our boards now.
Okay.
On my house.
Okay, here's my board. Board.
Look.
Period.
Do you see me? Ow.
Period.
Right. So we're talking about PrEP, right?
Yeah.
PrEP and PEP, reproductive justice, mental wellness, and being counted as trans men, right? Trans men across America. So what that looks like is assigned female at birth, men, me. I was assigned female at birth, and I lived my life as a man. So my HIV, how do you say? Let me back up. For assigned female at birth, AFAB people, their medication is not the same, right? Mm-hmm. As a trans woman's medication, right? Let me say it like that. So when we're talking about medication, MSM, men that have sex with men, they group trans women into that category, right? Which I don't think it's fair, but for data purposes, this is what they do. And the trans men, AFAB, people get grouped in with cis women. Now, when you want to break it down even further, right? And this is when they get in your business and they want to know if you're having, I have to be politically correct here, front hole or back hole sex, right? And that's when you get grouped into another demographic, right? So it's really hard because they want to put you in a box, right? And I see that more trans men are becoming infected with HIV lately. So the discussion needs to be broadened. The discussion needs to be more often. And this is why I am a part of this. I've been advocating for HIV and AIDS since the 80s. And I've watched so many people pass away, due to complication, and it's really sad that we have to continue this conversation over and over and over again. But until we get to zero, until there are no more infections, this is what we're going to have to do. It's kind of like COVID. It's still here, right? But they're not talking about it. What happened to monkeypox? MPV, are we still talking about it? Is it still here? Did it go away? Like, these are things that we have to have conversations about, Is there a cure? Let's talk about that. Is this the cure? The medications that you're taking being undetectable and untransmittable, is that the cure? What does that look like, Lady Bird? Is that the cure?
Lady Bird's like,
I was reading this big old paragraph.
I'm about to get to you.
Me and Lady Bird over here in the comments.
We was
Yeah, y'all are in the comments. I got y'all.
Okay.
But is undetected being untransmittable, is that the cure?
That is the cure. That in a conversation.
Destiny.
I'm sorry.
Is being undetectable and untransmittable the cure? I mean, functionally, I guess you would say, but no, that's not the cure we're looking for.
Right.
Like, I mean, it works and it's doing what it's supposed to do, but we need that end all. That's what we need.
And what does that look like? What does the end all cure look like?
That looks like everybody who is currently diagnosed being cured and no longer having the virus, period. And making sure that anyone who hasn't been tested, that they go and get tested, because if in fact they are HIV positive and they don't know it, now if we get to that point, now here's a cure that you can have, and not just walking around not knowing. I think that's the issue, is people like, well, I just rather not know. But I feel like if there was an actual cure and people knew it was an actual cure, I feel like they would be more fast to get tested than now.
So the cure would look like HIV positive people are no longer positive and can't transmit it to anyone else, kind of like what we have now, right?
Right.
And those that are negative won't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
kind of like that?
Kind of like now, right? Okay, now, Destiny, go ahead.
But same thing. I feel like the same, like she said, being undetectable is a part of the cure. There's no cure. Like, let's let it go until they tell us there's a cure and somebody has been cured undetectable. So it looks like everyone who is positive and knows their status, getting on treatment, staying on treatment, maintaining undetectable status. Everybody who hasn't been tested or is negative, getting tested to know their status. If they need to be on PrEP or feel like they are in a situation where PEP or PrEP needs to be taken, getting on that, maintaining it, and getting tested when you need to. Not waiting 5 years because you've been with somebody for 5 years and you just know your partner. Because are you with them 24/7? And I love when people say they're with their partner 24/7, but let's be for real. Y'all both work at 2 different places. Becky could be sitting right next to him at that desk, and if it's a bathroom, you're not there. Like, let's be for real. We're grown. Like, we are grown. Let's stop saying we're with our partner 24/7 because no, you're not. So just, and being okay with having that conversation, getting the conversation back into schools, because if we start talking to these kids, we can stop it before it even gets to where it's going. So positive people taking care of themselves, getting treatment, staying on treatment, maintaining undetectable status. If you have a partner, getting your partner on PrEP. That's another way to stay negative. So PrEP is 99.7%. So that plus undetectable, you good. No, I did not call you.
That is smart. That is smart. That is it right there. That is it. So
How is that?
It's what we have going right now, right? And where we are in 2022.
Yes,
we're taking the steps, and that's what we're doing, and that's how you eradicate HIV on a whole, right? To put action to what's already been started. So thank you for bringing us back full circle, Destiny. So okay, so what were y'all going hard about in these comments?
Nothing. We was just reading a paragraph.
Yeah,
You're not picking questions, are you?
I think it was questions, but they like all the way up now.
Yeah, it's not even
my daughter,
me go
Lady
that
Bird,
far.
my daughter just popped up and looked at the screen and said, "Is that the bird?"
It's the bird.
Not the bird. Not the
I
bird.
said, "Yeah, girl, that's Lady Bird."
I be the bird for the baby.
She get on my nerves.
So we were reading. Debbie had a nice paragraph that she typed out.
I was just getting ready to say, is that the one that started with the XXXX? Where she said, Debbie said, I think it's the best we can do, but as someone who has already experienced many side effects that cannot be reversed and have been on meds that 20 years later affected us, then would have to say no.
Oh, there was a big paragraph before that.
There was a big paragraph.
But I have to say no to what, Debbie? And uniquely, Aisha, we ain't on here for that.
What?
Like, where did we even come from?
Wait, what happened?
Uniquely, girl,
not looking
bye.
how you look being funny on Kendra Live. What happened?
Oh, she talked because I be on Kendra Live, child. Look, let me pull your profile up because look, I'm all about educating and roasting. We could do it both ways.
No, we're not doing that.
Oh, Lady Bird.
Not today. But I'm confused to why you would even come on this live, because this is about, educating and HIV alive, and you worried about how somebody looks, right? Well, let me tell you, this is what HIV looks like, right? And if you have a problem with that, then hit the delete button, and you shouldn't even be here. That there's no reason for you to even be here.
Let's speak on real quick, just because she came in the comments with that. Let's stop acting like because we live with HIV and we're advocates that we don't have a life.
We can't laugh and
do other things. We can't get in the same videos that y'all watching and laughing at and kiki and ha-ha. And we can't do that because we live with HIV and we advocates.
Right. That's the issue I be having. People think I can't laugh and joke and think that something ain't Like, like I can't have an opinion about stuff. Like, duh. So what you saying? I gotta go to a comedy show and just sit there and I can't laugh because I got HIV, so I can't laugh. I just gotta sit there and look.
Yeah, but we're not even gonna hold space for them, right? Because they came into our discussion
Right.
trying to be relevant, right? And they can go back to wherever they came from and bully and do whatever it is that they want to do, right? So you can talk about whoever Kendrick is
I
or whatever
know.
on somebody else's.
Let me just say this real quick. So uniquely, Aisha, this live for number one, this page says Ladybird. And on this page right now, you have Ladybird, Destiny, and Jevon. The topic of our discussion and what my page is about is HIV and AIDS education. That is what it is about on this page. So when I am on Kendra's page, when I am on Mike Epps' page, Steve Harvey page, anybody else's page that's not my page, if it's funny, if it's whatever it is, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to react, I'm going to do whatever. So if I'm watching someone's page and something is funny, I'm going to laugh. If I feel like something deserves my remark in a funny way, I'm going to make it. Nothing about my HIV status or the fact that I have HIV, any of that, none of that, or how I look, none of that has anything to do with the other. So, I mean, again, like Jevon said, you're here on this page. Enjoy the education that we are giving, the information we're giving. If you don't want it, you can gracefully hit the button. Like, we won't know when you leave the video, and that's fine if you leave.
Right, but you know what? It's fine. Let her stay because the
Yeah,
longer
we
she
gonna let
stays,
her
the more
stay because I mean, you know,
the
she
more
giving us
views
the
we get,
views.
right? And whether she laughs or throws up a heart or throws up a mean face, it's still adding to content. So
You
you
know,
can stay
yeah.
and just keep adding to the content. You can stay and say whatever it is you like. You know, it's free speech, but we are not liable for what other people say to you.
That's the one.
That
We're not like
Okay. So I'm not bullying. We're not
no,
bullying you.
we're not
I
bullying.
don't
We're
even
just
know you,
I
right? So we're all human. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion,
yeah.
right? But at this moment, we're here to talk about HIV and AIDS. We're here to talk about educating and letting people know how they can be safe on their journey of life, right? So you do whatever it is you want to do in your backyard. We're going to continue with this live. All right. So
It's bad.
yes, yes, because I don't have time for it. Not today. Not any day. Period. Thank you, Letitia. Drops the mic. Okay,
mic
but
drop.
yes, mic drop. No, so Debbie, listen, you know me, right? Like I'm not here for that, right? I speak positively because I want to receive positive in return, right? And I feel as though what we're doing is helping. And I know it's helping because we have kids watching us in Africa, right? My kids, I have kids. They claimed me as they papa, right? And I'm holding space for them because they're HIV positive. They had their event today. I was able to send them some funds so that they can, have a great time out there and educating people in Uganda.
That's
Let me tell you, y'all think that you can walk in the street holding hands being LGBT in Uganda, you will get killed. Okay? If you wearing your little rainbow bracelet, you will get killed. You will get beat up and you'll end up in the gravel somewhere on the side of the road in the dirt, right? So my kids out there are taking care of one another. They are out there making sure that they have safety. We were able to partner with Road. Road is redefining our ancestry, which is, African history. And we have been helping these kids back in Africa and Uganda. And it's beautiful, beautiful, the work that they're doing. So I want to say shout out to Road. That's R period O period A.D. And I also want to say shout out to Someway Foundation. Somway, SOMWA. That's Siblings of Mothers with AIDS. And that is my good friend, Shakasia Brown. And we will be going to Africa. I want a trip to go to Africa, to go to Kenya.
Whoa, okay.
Yes. And so COVID came and took away my opportunity to go to Kenya, but I believe I'm going next year, and I will be participating in helping with building the school. Shaq is building a school out there, and I'm gonna meet the people from the Kidojo tribe. I think I'm saying it correctly, but it was a raffle, and I won a raffle, and to hear the kids say my name when they pulled it from the box and that I won, like the tears just came out my eyes the way they say Jevon Martin. I was like, oh my God, I won. So yeah, we are doing this work not only here, Puerto Rico, Africa. We are inspiring people, encouraging people to tell their story, right? We are encouraging people to know their status, right? Because a lot of people are nervous about going and finding out their status, right? And this is why they don't go get tested. And we also need to talk about where and how we're asking people to go get tested, right? So there's this thing in the LGBT community, because I want to keep it on the I, right? That we have balls. I don't know if you watch Legendary or the voguing balls, the competitions with the runway and the face and the realness and stuff. So we have these competitions, right? They're like fashion shows, but houses compete against each other, right? So there was a time when I'm not sure if they still do it. I think they do. So we would have the latex ball, right? And at the latex ball, you can go get tested, right? And now think about it. People are in here drinking, they're partying, they're dancing, they're walking the ball, and they're going to get tested. And then they find out that they're HIV positive at the event with all their friends there. And like, how would that make you feel? Like, where is the aftercare? Where is the in that moment care? That you're here walking the ball and then you find out, oh, I'm HIV positive, but I got to walk this category, or I just walked this category and I won this money and this trophy and now I'm HIV positive. What's next? Right? But you're at an event and you're drinking. So I feel like, on a personal note, that this should be separated, because you don't know someone's mindset under the influence, finding out that they're HIV positive.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not educated on knowing what the next steps are. Even though you're telling them, hey, I'm here for you. So if you do get a positive result, tomorrow we'll go do the blood draw. What if when I go home, there is no tomorrow because I'm taking pills because I'm positive and I'm intoxicated? What happens then, right? And this is something that I'm concerned about, with these events, because there's young people at these events. So what happens if there's someone that really doesn't know and they're testing positive, like, and they're with their friends, right? Peer pressure. Oh, I'm negative. Let me see your paper. Like, what does that look like?
Right.
So there's a lot of things that we have to talk about when we're asking people to get tested, because it could be a traumatic experience, and it could be triggering. So when you go get tested, like, how was that for you, Destiny, when you went to go get tested? Like why did you go get tested?
So I got tested twice, actually. The first time I got tested is because me and my boyfriend had broke up. And I went to go get tested. Everything came back negative. I wasn't sick. I didn't feel the type of way. I just went to go get tested. It was time to get tested. But after that test, I moved on to another guy. I ended up pregnant. And at my first doctor's appointment, they tested me for everything again. That's when my test came back positive. But at that time also, I wasn't sick. I didn't feel like I had HIV. There was nothing in my mind or wrong with my body that made me feel like when I got those results, they were going to be telling me that I was HIV positive. So I say all the time, especially in my lives, I don't give out symptoms. If you really want to know symptoms, go Google them, talk to an infectious disease doctor, because a lot of people who are living with HIV don't have symptoms at all. So the best way to know is to go get tested.
Okay, and Lady Bird, can you enlighten us on how you decided to go get tested?
Yeah, well, mine was basically because I got pregnant. Went to the OBGYN, and whenever you get pregnant, the first thing that they do is they do your prenatal labs because they want to see your baseline, want to see where everything is at, where you're starting this pregnancy. And so my diagnosis was revealed during that time. And kind of like Destiny, like months before that, I had to, tested, and I was negative. You know, and did and was negative, like negative, negative. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. You go in thinking one thing. Because when the doctor said to me, "Oh, well, your labs are okay except one thing," I was not thinking like that was probably not even a thought in my head that she was gonna tell me that. I was thinking anything else, and two, like I didn't have symptoms or anything. Even to this day, 15 years later, I've not had any signs, symptoms, nothing of, any effects from having the HIV virus.
Well, that is a positive story, right? Because we know that some people out there have had HIV for 20 some odd years from the 80s, right? And they have other stories like Debbie. You know, Debbie's gonna share with me their story later on. But I've watched a lot of people from the 80s not get, okay, we called it the cocktail, right? You know, it wasn't, it was kind of like hit and miss. Try this and see if this will work for you, and try that. And oh, if this doesn't work, we're going to put you on something else. And I feel as though now the medication trials have come full circle, and they know what will work for certain demographics of people. But there still are several studies going on, right? Because what people don't understand, or maybe they just don't know, is that you don't die from HIV and AIDS, right? You die from complications, right? Some people pass away from cancer, right? And so it it depends on you, on your body, on how you treat yourself, right? A lot of people still drink, and a lot of people still smoke, and it's it's just with any other medication that you're taking, you have to make sure that what's for your body works. And yes, Debbie, that AZT, whew, you taking me back, Debbie. You taking me back. So I used to be a candy striper in St. Vincent's Hospital in New York, which is no longer around. They tore the building down. And I used to talk to the patients, feed them, read them books. I used to push a cart around, and it was for me my give back. It was my support, how I could help, because nobody wanted to go in those rooms. Nobody wanted to even talk to someone that was HIV positive, you know, back then. And it was so sad. It was the worst. And it was like hazmat suits, right? And
Mhm.
I'm like, is this really what you want when you're in a hospital trying to get care?
Right.
It's not. And people not wanting to even come in there and just slide the tray over. And it was like so insensitive and uncaring. And it was kind of sort of like COVID,
Right. Yeah.
right? And to think about it, it was exactly like COVID. And it was so bad. It was so bad. And so now here we are in 2022, and I'm just so thankful that there's these spaces that we created, right? And spaces that nonprofit organizations and businesses created, pharmaceuticals, um, have have made for us to tell our stories and to be a part of the change, right? So I'm gonna put this out there. Don't Google this, but I'm gonna put this out there. Does anyone know what the slogan is for this year for World AIDS Day? Don't you touch your computer. Don't, don't, don't you touch it.
Oh my God, I was on a panel earlier and they said what it was.
Uh-huh.
And
You
they
got you
said it, and it was
5 seconds,
like,
5 seconds.
I don't remember
Okay,
what it is.
nope, nobody
no,
got it because
I ain't get it.
I'm not
I
giving
knew it,
nobody
but
a
I
chance.
knew it like a couple weeks ago. I didn't, and I thought about it earlier. I was like, let me go and look and see what it is, and I never
I
did.
posted it today. I posted it several times today.
I just completely don't remember.
Okay, go ahead and Google it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep,
Okay.
because I posted it several times today, and I was gonna say, let me see if y'all are paying attention.
Let me see. And you know what? You did post it, and I
Mm-hmm.
rock the ribbon. You know,
No, it's not Rock the Ribbon.
this year's theme for World AIDS Day is rock the ribbon.
Nope.
What?
No, it's something
Okay.
else.
Okay. Well, why did that pop up when I put it
It's
in?
because that's like the original Rock the Ribbon. It's not.
Hold on. Okay, let me. Well, what? Hold on.
It's called Putting
Oh,
Ourselves to
putting
the Test.
ourselves to the test.
Achieving equity to end
I
HIV.
see it. Yeah. Okay. I see it right here. Yep. It's on the U.S. Department of State's website.
Yes. So I'm just gonna read that just to give some more education and information about what today is. Yes, Debbie, get tested. Yes. So each year on December 1st, we commemorate World AIDS Day. This important awareness day remains a time to reflect on our worldwide response to HIV and AIDS while honoring the lives of those lost to AIDS-related illnesses. On this day, we also renew our commitment to supporting the well-being of those with HIV as well as those at risk for infection. So I wanted to let you all know that, and that today, December 1st of every year, this is what happens, right? And they also have like World Testing Day, International Testing Day, Condom Day, and we do this to keep people aware, right? And to keep communities safe, right? So I just wanted to see if anyone knew what this year's slogan was.
Don't
And
do us.
so, yep. So,
I just-
it's funny because sometimes, you know, you you're busy, you're living life, you're doing what you have to do. And yes, you were on a panel earlier and it was probably mentioned, but in between there, you had to go pick up the kids, you had to go fix dinner, you had to do this, you had to do, so you forget this. And this is something that you do on the regular. So I just wanted to put that out there for those of you that didn't know that this year's slogan is putting ourselves to the test, achieving equity to end HIV.
Yes. And I wanted to share too, because I know a lot of people sometimes they feel like if they're not, and this was also a kind of conversation in the chat. They feel like if they're not affected by a situation that they have no connection to it. So this is why it's important for you guys to understand, like Jevon said, there are many different awareness things that happen throughout the year. So here it is. Now it's December 1st. We're getting ready to jump into a new year. So just really quickly, I'm going to give you the dates and the names of what we do throughout the year. So February, we celebrate National Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. March 10th is dedicated to our women and girls. So this is National Women and Girls HIV and Awareness Day. And March 20th is National Native HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. So this is kind of more geared toward American Indians, Alaskan Natives, Native Hawaiians, along, people that have that nationality. April 10th is National Youth HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. This is really a big day. I know for me it's a huge day because this is a day we, even though throughout the year we want to reach the youth, this is one of those days it's like, listen, because your statistics are rising and we need you guys to simmer down a little bit and understand what's really going on. And then April 18th is our National Transgender HIV Testing Day. So this is, trying to get the awareness not only to just everybody, but the transgender community to go out and get tested because like Jevon was explaining to you guys earlier, like the numbers are rising and it's not just rising in the, in everybody. This is a community where the numbers are really being affected. May 19th is National Asian and Pacific Islander Day. So that's what our Asian and Pacific Islander communities. June 27th, National HIV Testing Day. Everybody go out and get tested. You get a test, you get a test. Everybody get a test. That's that day. August 20th is Southern HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. So this is where we are focusing on the South. We got that South, those states lying in the bottom, including me in Florida.
And that's where the most people don't know about HIV.
Yes, you got a lot of people still down here living in rural communities. They don't watch TV. They nothing. Like nothing. They really like living almost like in the Amish community in some of these places. September 18th is National HIV and AIDS Aging Awareness Day. So this is for our older adults who are getting up in age. We want to make sure that they still understand that even though you're getting up in age, we still going to support you. We still want you to understand how your body and the things that are changing with you while you're aging with this virus. Jevon and all his people up there.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to say me and my people, right? And more so what people don't know, and I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this with you. What a lot of people don't know is that in senior citizens' homes, there's a lot of playing going on.
Now you talk about nasty. They nasty.
I was just going to say that. You want to talk about nasty.
It's them.
Pull up on grandma them.
Right.
Okay.
Grandma and Deacon up in there.
Yep. And so they not using condoms, right? So I mean, they old school. And I don't know. Like
right.
I'm talking 70, 80, 90s. That's what I'm going
oh.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Don't put me there. I got
all right.
20 some more years to
okay, so September 27th is National Gay Men's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. So this is talking about our gay community with men, bisexual men, just having that talk. October 15th is our National Latina AIDS Awareness Day. So our Latin community, Hispanic Latinos, all the stuff that I can't read because I don't know any Spanish besides my numbers, my colors, and hola, como está. That's it. Muy bien. That's it. That's all I got for you. And
You
then
don't know the
today,
days?
huh?
You don't know the days of the week?
No,
Oh, we
I
gotta
ain't
work
get
on
that
that.
far. I ain't get that far. And then today, December 1st, World AIDS Day. And that is a day that we remember those who are no longer here with us, as well as many others. And then I feel like there's something I missed. There's a couple other days too. So you have HIV Vaccine Awareness Day, which is May 18th. June 5th is our HIV long-term survivors awareness day. So I don't know. Do I fit in that category yet? I'm at 15 years.
What categorizes someone as long term?
That's what I'm saying. It could.
What
It's
does that
15
number
years
look like?
in that long-term category. I don't know. We have a new one also. February 28th. HIV is not a crime awareness day. So this is for the community who is looking to make changes in the laws that are criminalizing people because, yes, me personally, if you're doing it with malicious intent, I feel like it is a crime. But some of these laws that are still in place in a lot of states need to be changed. They just need to be changed. They are outdated, so wrong on all levels. So things need to change with that. And I'm just scanning to make sure. Oh, this is new. July 21st, Zero HIV Stigma Day. So this is new. Did y'all know about this?
Yes.
July 28th, shut that ass up day.
July 20th. Yeah. And then, so yeah, okay. How did I miss that? That wasn't this year though. I don't remember that happening. Did that happen this year?
I've never heard
Yes.
that one. You just said it.
Oh, it did? Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna have to look at that one and the other one. Oh, and
So
you have
it's
August 30th is National Faith HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. So this is when the faith communities, so churches, religious, that's when we're trying. I'm not gonna say it's successful, but it's one of those things where we are trying to get a lot of the faith communities on board with merging the discussion of HIV and AIDS with their congregations, because believe it or not, people in church do have sex.
no.
You
do
know, they having sex, y'all. They having sex. So
are they married?
Some of them married, some of them, some of them married to other people and having sex with other people. It's a lot going on.
That's
in church.
adultery.
So
they not doing that in the church.
We got to make sure they understand HIV and AIDS and how to help themselves. So
they not doing adultery in the church.
Look,
they not.
I mean, hey,
not my pastor.
It's some disciples that was walking with Jesus and did some things. So
Listen, what you not gonna do is start quoting because Mary Magdalene was a hub.
No, I ain't gonna quote.
See, so we not even gonna go there. So yeah. And Jesus was right there. So they say,
I'm not present.
Listen, all I know is in the book, the book that was passed down to keep us in our place. Let me shut up.
What?
So on a whole nother note, right? Yes, they do, Rosalind. The churches need educating. They do, but not only the churches, right? And it's not the church; it's the leaders in the church, right? And you know how they say lead by example, and then you have those pastors that talk at you and about you, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do or supposed to do, right? How you gonna tell me that sleeping with Mary Sue is bad, but yet you slept with Mary Sue and you married to Christina over there. Like, come on now, we're not doing this, right? And it happens. I see you, Destiny, looking out the side around the corner.
Yes, say,
Yeah, because the thing is that when you go to church, you go for the word, right? Yeah. And not to be scolded, not to be triggered, not to have people talking about you. Child, you see what she got on? You look at his shoes. How many kids she got now? With them kids look a mess. That's not what you're coming to church for, right? Some people do. Some people get all dialed up because they want to go to church for the show, right? But I can tell you right now, church is in your heart. God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you call the King, Jesus, Jesus, whatever.
Ladybird
is in your heart, the goddess,
right?
Namyo Renge Kyo, Buddhism, all this is in your heart. It starts with faith, right? And as long as you are walking your path in a positive note, you're not doing any harm to anyone, yourself, I'm good. You know, that's what we are here to do. We are here to educate on a positive note. We're here to uplift on a positive note. And we're here to inspire and empower others to know their status and to share resources and to learn with us. Lady Bird learned something today. Yeah. She learned that they added another day. Now, let's talk about why they added another day. It's because there are still HIV positive infections happening. Yeah. And there's going to be another day added and another one until we get to 0, right? Oh. And that's why we're having this conversation. And that's why we're going to keep having these conversations. Because we need you to know your status. We need you to know how to stay negative if you are negative. And those of you that are positive, we need you to know how to get to 0. Untransmittable, undetected. You equals you. And I was just about to go to Destiny, but she walked away. So I'm going to come to you, Renee. So what? No. This is easy. This is easy. So let's talk about some of these campaigns, programs, and projects that you have been a part of that has worked for you.
Okay. So the biggest one that I was a part of was here with the Florida Health Department, which was the Faces of HIV. So this was a mobile art exhibit that traveled around the state of Florida. They used like one of those box vans, you know, the big like industrial, it looks like an 18-wheeler, but the little smaller one. And what we did was we did a photo shoot. So we did our portraits. And I actually posted my picture today. So in these pictures, everybody's like, why y'all didn't smile? So the thing was for everyone to just kind of look, rest and be face, just no emotion, no nothing, just to look. And everybody's picture kind of had this because it wanted you to see these are faces of HIV. This face is not the same as this face. Everybody's face is different. And so we also wrote in journals for like 30 days, or I think I did mine. I don't even think I did the full 30 days. Because at the time when I did the campaign and started, I was kind of going through a little depression, dealing with some things in life. And so there were some moments when I just wrote one word in my journal entry for the day. Okay, I'm almost done.
And that's
Sorry.
okay. You know,
She's over here.
writing one word is okay.
Yeah, and I wrote the little one word and I went on with it. And so you know, we did that. It traveled the state of Florida. We did so we started 2011, went into 2012, and I think they did a little bit at the beginning of 2013. And then so that campaign kind of, you know, it's still around. They kind of revamped it, found some other faces and it wasn't, again, called, it was still Faces of HIV, but they kind of implemented it into a little something different. So like if you pull Faces of HIV up in the Florida Department of Health's thing, you'll find me and everybody else that did it with me, but then you'll find the newer people that incorporated in it. And for me, that was huge because that was really the first time that I was like on that, like not national, but kind of national, because it was the whole state of Florida. People, my face was on billboards. Like imagine I'm sitting on I-4 in Orlando, because I was in Orlando at the time, and I'm literally sitting in traffic and the digital billboard is here and it pops up, and I'm purposely there because I'm trying to catch my own cell phone picture. And we're in traffic, not moving, and a car's next to me. I guess they saw I had my phone or something, and they're looking at what I'm looking at. And I guess when my face pops up, they looked over at me and they looked back real quick, and they was like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." Like, you know. And then my voice is on the radio, because again, at this point, my oldest daughter, who's now 19, she didn't know about anything. So it was a thing of, if she hear my voice, you think she'll know that's me? So we're in the car and the radio version of the commercial comes on, and I'm the first one that talks. And in the commercial, I say, "I'm a mother." And so we in the car, and I heard it come on, and I look in the rearview mirror, I'm like, did she hear that? And so she act like she didn't hear it. Then she was like, "That lady on the radio, she almost sounded like you, Ma." I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "I don't know. I didn't hear it. What you heard?" You know? So that, for me, that campaign was a lot, because one of those journeys we took to the University of Central Florida, which is the college I was going to. And people would walk up not really knowing what's inside it. We have the table set up. I'm there. And somebody walked up and said, "Oh, I don't want to go in there and look. That's like like we told them pictures in there. That's like, I don't want to go in there and look at pictures of death." Like, that's what they said. "I don't want to look at pictures of death." So I heard them because I was talking to somebody else, and I said, "Excuse me." I say, "You sure you don't want to walk inside? I mean, I'll walk with you." He was like, "No, I don't want to go in there and look at people that are dying." And so I said, "Do I look like I'm dying?" He was like, "No, you look good." You know? And I say, "Well, my picture's inside here." And he just stood there with this look on his face like, "What?" Like, he was shocked and embarrassed all at the same time. And so I finally, he finally went in there with me, and he's seeing this, and then he's seeing the journals, because our physical journals we had are on there next to our pictures. And he was just like in amazing shock. So I feel like that campaign did a lot, because it showed people that all walks of life, you don't have to be promiscuous. You didn't have to be an intravenous drug user to get stuck by, to get infected by a needle. There was a guy who was an EMT. He got stuck by a needle just doing his job and got infected. So it showed you all these different walks of life. And it really, I feel like that campaign attacked stigma in a huge way. So that was like my biggest campaign I enjoyed doing. And then just other little things that I've done. I don't even know if I would call them campaigns. I mean, I have my Live Healthy get tested. And just other stuff, I might come on here and not necessarily, you might say it's a campaign, but for me, it'll just be saying whatever, So just other little things here and there. But yeah, I think that one for me was my biggest and the one I enjoyed the most.
And has that campaign been archived?
Yes. So all of our portraits and our journals are now a part of the World AIDS Museum in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So
Nice.
I am an historic exhibit.
Nice. Nice. And it's always great to, preserve history, right? So while we were talking, Destiny came back. So Destiny, what we're talking about is campaign. What was your favorite campaign to work on? And I also want to mention the fact that you are part of the youth, right? And I just want to say thank you for sharing your story and for being vocal and out about your status, because it's important for the youth to have someone to, look to speak to engage with, and know that they're not alone.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't done any campaigns other than the one that I did for USCHA. But I'm not going to speak too much on it. I am in the works with a campaign that isn't out yet, but they're working on it. So the one that I was just invited to recently will probably be the biggest one. And then it's also with a platform and a nonprofit that I hold dear and near to my heart, so I can't wait to share.
Okay, so don't say nothing, NDA, right? Don't say anything. But so that'll be it. But
my campaign with USCHA would be my biggest as of now, and just it opened a lot of doors for me. So
look at your shirt.
Well, I mean, yeah. So my personal brand is my biggest campaign.
There you go.
I created my brand back in 2020 after I published my first book, and it's called Living My Truth. It is a brand, it is a lifestyle, and it's absolutely not just for people living with HIV, but that is my story. So that is my mission, that is my focus, is to create a safe space for youth and young adults living with HIV, to let them know they are not alone. They don't have to go through it alone. Don't mind the little human in my background. So yeah, my brand would be the biggest one. I definitely hold it near and dear to my heart because it means a lot. Just being able to be myself in every space that I go into, especially with I am now, since coming back from Puerto Rico, I'm Puerto Rico and California, I'm a peer navigator. So I work with people living with HIV and their case managers. I am the person who can tell you stuff from both sides because I'm also that client. And I love my job. I love the environment. I love the people that I work with. But I get to see the actual sides of the caseworkers that I didn't get to see before because I wasn't in that space. But being allowed to be in that space and be myself fully, authentically, being able to the same stuff I do on Facebook, I now do while getting paid. So my grandpa has always told me from the time I was a child till now, when you do something you love, it's not work. I want to get up in the morning. I'm ready to go to work. I want to go see these people. I want to interact with these people. This is my purpose. Yes, I contracted HIV in 2017, and yes, it changed my life. That's everybody's favorite question. Did it change your life? And a lot of people try to be funny, like it's supposed to be a negative thing. Hell yeah, it changed my life. Did it change my life negatively? No. Was it supposed to? Maybe it was. But did I let it? No. Everything that was supposed to go bad went a totally different direction. And maybe if I never contracted HIV, I would have never been a published author. If I never contracted HIV, I would have never had a free trip to Puerto Rico. If I never contracted HIV, I wouldn't have had a free trip to California 2 weeks after I just got back from Puerto Rico for free. So, bye. Because now you're doing too much.
But Destiny, that is the key, right? That is what we want to let people know that having HIV is not a death sentence, right?
At all.
We want to turn that around and have it work for you in a positive, right? And what that looks like is learn about yourself, learn about the medication, learn about the trials. And even if you don't want to, you don't have to, but take care of yourself, right? How do you take care of yourself? You keep your appointments, talk to someone. And it's easier said than done, but
Definitely.
if you just take the time, and even with yourself, like Lady Bird said, she was writing journals, and then there was days when she was depressed and she just wrote one word is fine.
Yeah.
even
Let me say,
even
I'll
yeah.
say this. I'll say this. Never. I I said all these good things to say, but never think that there aren't bad days.
I was getting there. I was getting
Yeah,
there. Go ahead.
I'm like, never think that there aren't bad days. I have so many bad days, but I have so many good days that are so good that my bad days don't even matter. It is a mental thing, and I've learned to self development and spiritual development and go closer to God and relearn myself so I don't stay in those bad days, in those dark places. It's gonna happen. We all have bad days. You don't have to have HIV to have a bad day. We might just, our bad days might just be a little better because, we got to think about it. But then we could wake up tomorrow and have the best day ever, and I forgot what the bad day was even about. But I had I say that to say I had a comment on one of my reels, and the lady asked us why every time I see a video of people living with HIV, they're so happy. Why are you guys not showing both sides? And I told her, follow my page, because I do show both sides, and my followers will tell you when I have a bad day, I still get on Facebook. I still go live. I still make statuses, and I let them know. I really want to talk to y'all, but I'm having a bad day. I don't even want to get out of bed. So it's not, we are just so happy. We're just not letting HIV control us. Why should we? Why do we have to stay in that dark place? Because we have something we can't get rid of. I take one pill a day and I can still do everything everybody else does. So there are bad days, and that's fine because we all have them. You don't have to have HIV or AIDS to have a bad day. You could just wake up as a human being, and you could be the healthiest person in the world with all the money in the world, and I'm sure you still have a couple bad days.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for sharing that. And Debbie, yes, we can definitely
Yeah,
sit
we
with
could do
you
that, Debbie.
and listen to your story and support you. And yes, we would love to have you maybe next week if the ladies aren't doing anything, we can talk with you and get your story, right? So that people will know, coming from long-term survivor, right? And longer term survivor, right? Let's put that out there. And so uh, I I just want to say thank you all for allowing me in this space. And I also want to share again with you, if you go on YouTube and put in the search Surviving Voices, you will find the two documentaries that I co-produced, the trans community in HIV and the Black community in AIDS. And watch those mini documentaries. They're very short, and come and talk to me about it. Send me some feedback. Send me messages about, what you think about the documentary so that I can share it with the National AIDS Memorial. Or you can go on National AIDS Memorial on YouTube and look at the videos and leave your comments there and let them know that I sent you, because these videos are for educational purposes as well as to amplify the stories of those lived experiences, because this is how we eradicate the stigma. it's really important for people to understand and know that HIV is not the end. It's not a death sentence. It's not your world coming to a halt and you can't move forward. You can move forward with the will, the faith, the medication, the support, and us.
Right.
Right. And so, are there any more questions? Anyone want to ask
The
Destiny
link I just
or
put
Renee something?
is to the documentary.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say I'll put the link,
Oh,
but you put it then. Cool.
which one? Which one is that, Destiny?
Surviving Voices.
Which one? Because there was two. That is that the one? The
You say
Black community
Surviving
and
Voices.
oh, okay, okay, good,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And also know that the mini documentary is short, but you can also watch each individual person's story under the National AIDS Memorial YouTube channel. Like, those stories will have you emotional. They definitely will. And I will continue to work with the National AIDS Memorial to amplify people's stories, as well as working with these two young ladies here, as long as they will have me. And hopefully we can work on some independent stuff soon.
Right. After a while, we gonna mess around and be done had a whole TV show around here.
Okay.
Come on, speak it into existence, Lady Bird. We're
Let's
gonna
go.
have this
Let's
whole
go.
HIV channel.
Look.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
We can make this happen. HIV talk. And I'm
Yep.
not saying 101, because we're beyond 101 unless we in the South and in the rural areas,
Right.
still keep pushing that 101. But hey, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. Did
We can
anybody
make
say
it happen.
questions? I know I was looking to see if anybody had said any more questions.
No, I didn't see any questions, and yeah, this was really good, and
Yeah.
everyone has been supporting and putting comments. But I want to give a big shout out to Debbie. Debbie, you have been here since we first came.
We're gonna have
on.
to put Debbie on the roster. Listen, Debbie, you hired Debbie. Cause look.
Yes. Yes.
Debbie has
I really
been riding with yes.
Yeah, and then so Debbie is the other part where we were talking about the longevity, right? And then so we have Debbie, we have you in the middle, and then we have Destiny as a part of the youth, you know. So this works out. This works out, and we can make it larger and have all demographics.
Right. And just to give like a transparency moment to it, like you guys think that we get on here and we might talk about the same thing every day, but let me tell you, when you get an inbox message from somebody saying I was just diagnosed a week ago, like that right there says to me, I can't stop. I have to keep going. I have to continue to talk. If I stop talking, they won't get this information. You know, I got that inbox message the other day and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it's just the reality of, you think, okay, because I've been doing this for 15 years. I've dealt with it for 15 years. And for somebody to come, it's like, it's almost like somebody just gave birth, like this is a newborn baby in a sense. Somebody that's got to go through all of these things that I've went through. And it's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, we got to keep talking about it. We got to keep going. We got to keep making sure people understand the seriousness of this, because yes, medications have advanced. Things have advanced in this so much, but people are still getting infected. Like none of the things have happened. None of the advancements have happened because I don't know. It's just.
But we need to unpack that, right? And we need to talk about that.
It's good you said so, because a couple weeks ago I was on live and the girl got in my comments and said, "Oh my God, you get on here every day talking about HIV." I said, "And do."
And do.
That's what my platform is for, to normalize the conversation.
Look, and
Somebody,
her and all
somebody
her million devices be on all the platforms.
okay. Somebody's in here today that wasn't in here yesterday. Somebody in here today that wasn't in here last week. I get one inbox, multiple inboxes, but at least one inbox a day from somebody I've never known, sharing their status or sharing their story or telling me something that they haven't told somebody else. I've had people get in my inbox and say they haven't been tested in 5 years, but
Right.
because they see my live, now they finna go get tested. Like, we don't get on these lives and just talk about HIV for fun. I could live my life absolutely fine and never get on live again. But somebody needs to hear what I went through because it happened for a reason. Most of the time when you go through something, it is not for you.
For somebody else.
It's for somebody
else. Amen. And they go live every day. They go live at least 5 to 10 times throughout the day. And they have families, right? Mustang Sally, I'm speaking to you. They be out. I can tell you now, Lady Bird be out with the kids. Lady Bird be at the school with Micah.
Listen, juice time, everything.
Yep. Oh, please. Don't forget to give Micah his juice.
Man, what you
he
say?
needs his juice box.
He's
like
so out.
I be up in here just peeking, like, did she give him the juice box? And then she be touching him on his face, and he be like,
rolling his eyes and ignoring me.
I know in his mind, he like, Mom, when you get that camera out my face, like, back up, lady. Yep. And so she has twins. So you will see, just follow them, just watch their lives, and it is fun. They be just doing regular everyday parenting stuff, right? But Destiny, on the other hand, she got this different job now, so she's not on as much as she was.
That job that slowed you down, girl.
She is still on though, right? And she is still sharing. And so catch her on the weekends though. No, I'm playing, but yeah. I am not live that often. I am on live with these two. They have me on live.
We put you to work.
Yes, they do. And I appreciate it. And like I said before, this is not work, right? Because when you love to do something, it's not work.
It's
and
a passion.
I love to support people and to help people in being of service. And this is something that I've been doing since a kid. I could tell you, back in the day, I was raised in a predominantly Jewish and Albanian neighborhood. And during Passover, I used to go to people's houses and turn their lights on in the morning or at night and then turn them off. And yeah, I got paid for it, but still, that's where I started being of service, right? Turning on and off lights for people because they couldn't touch electricity, right, during Passover time. And then I was a candy striper in the hospital. I worked at St. Vincent's. I worked at Jacoby Hospital in the Bronx, and that's just where I got started being of service, helping people, because I just like to help people. And if I'm able, I will. For me, it's just what I do. I don't have to do it, but it's something, when you know that someone is in need and then you can give, then just give, right? There's so much going on in this world that we live in, so much hate, so much anger, disrespect. Like, people need love, people need hugs, and just some togetherness. And if I can give that, if I can be that, I'm here for it.
Hey, hug me. Love
Yes.
on
know, right?
Yes.
Love on me.
Yes. And y'all did that for me in Puerto Rico.
Look,
I feel like I am so blessed that we were part of the social media team. Like the three of us, we just like gravitated to one another. Like,
Oh, for
it
real.
was,
Our
so
last
weird.
night in Puerto Rico.
It was so. But why did we do like everything in the last day?
Right.
In one night. In one night.
Like
Because we were trying to be
everything.
productive. We were trying to do the right thing. Stay at the session. You know, we was trying to do the right thing.
Well, we gonna get up for next year for the IAS. But we don't want to talk about it too much. I hope I get this kind of shit. Listen. We gonna pay your mama. That's what we gonna do. We gonna pay your mama.
I'm gonna be there, huh? Let me go.
Yes.
Let me get this passport together now.
Fill out the scholarship and do the passport.
Let me get this passport together now.
Yeah. We just gonna give your mama some money with a couple of zeros. She gonna be all right. Come on.
It's summertime.
We got to go.
Anyway,
we gotta go. We have to.
I know, and that's one of my bucket list things too. Places. So
listen, I have never been there. I have friends there.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know I have a friend there. I literally have a friend there.
So I got an award in New York, and the lady that is the editor or the executive person of the awards, she lives there.
Oh,
Australia. Debbie, I'll send you the link. Well,
yeah, it's in Australia. Yeah, my friend Lizzie, she watches me sometimes. She's more on my other page, but she lives in Australia too. Yeah.
So this is exciting for me because I'm actually waiting for my letter. So you need a letter of recommendation.
Yeah, I gotta get my letter of recommendation.
You should get it from the Florida National AIDS Center or whatever.
No, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it from
Well, don't tell me. Don't.
I mean, no, it's
just go ahead.
It's no. I mean, it's not anybody like it's.
But it should be somebody.
I mean, it's like not nobody who you're gonna go and steal my person.
No, I already got my person. I already sent it to him, and I'm just waiting for him to write it and send it back on the letterhead and everything. Oh, Debbie has family there. Oh, wait a minute. Well, hey, how about this? We go even if we get the scholarship or not. How about that?
Because I'm thinking I have found like a lot of the places I want to go is because I want to research my ancestry because I've been told things and I'm finding things and I'm like, I need to find out. So do we have some background with
Wait, Aussie? Is that what they call it? Aussie?
See, I was told that we had some background with the Australian Aboriginals. So that's why I'm like intrigued to like find some stuff out.
Okay.
So that's what I'm like, and that's on my dad's side, somebody's side of the family.
Well, listen, we'll figure it out once the time comes. Once you get that approval letter, and I get my approval letter, Destiny, you quiet?
Destiny, you still on Instagram Live?
Girl, yeah.
You quiet. So what's going on? You don't want to go?
I might put in an application.
What you mean, might? So y'all send me the link to get me to sign up. I see what's happening.
Ladybird something.
I see what's happening.
I know, right?
Yeah, y'all trying to send me to test out the waters. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's I don't know. My thing is,
Jevon survived. The spiders didn't get him.
Huh?
I said y'all gonna say Jevon survived. The spiders didn't get him.
Right.
They like this big.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I ain't going out at night. I'm be inside. We can't go nowhere at night. I'm sorry.
We driving. We gonna be okay.
Yeah, cause
I don't think they can get in the car.
Because when we was in Puerto Rico, I thought those was like crickets or something. And y'all said them was what, birds or lizards or iguanas?
No, they were the frogs.
The frogs. I'm like, frog? That don't sound like a frog. That sounds like a bird in the tree.
No, that's the coqui frog.
I was like, this is different. I'm like, I hope nothing don't jump out on me. walking at nighttime. Sure.
No, but all seriousness, it was definitely a blessing to meet the both of you, and y'all have inspired me to be more vocal about what I do in the HIV and AIDS field, and to continue to uplift y'all voices. And I'm just thankful for y'all.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I feel the
Thank you,
same way
Steve.
too.
Steve said we have amazing energy, and they love it.
Who said that?
Steve
Oh,
Forbes.
hey, Steve. Hey. Steve Forbes. That's a rich name, ain't it?
Forbes. Forbes is a rich name.
All right. Any last remarks from either one of you before we get off of here?
I do. Follow me.
Yes, please go and
Y'all
follow
go follow
Jevon. Go
Yeah.
follow Destiny. If you are watching for the first time and you are not following me, follow me as well. Again, Destiny goes live frequently. I go live frequently. We're trying to get Jevon on the live train of going live frequently. Everyone has something going on. We're going to make sure we get all our links and everything in the comments so you can find us, other social media platforms, all that good stuff. I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well. So it'll be on YouTube for you guys to be able to share out and have embedded links and all that different stuff. You can put it anywhere. I'm excited. I'm glad that we did this. Thank you guys for doing this with me. And more to come. We gonna put out. We putting our thinking caps on, and we finna do some stuff that ain't never been done before. We finna make it happen. So I hope you guys are
Debbie in on
ready.
this. Debbie, get ready.
Get ready. I hope y'all are ready because we are coming through. 2023 is coming, but we kicking it off now. Okay, we not waiting till the new year. We coming in now. We coming in hot and piping hot.
Come on.
So
We're gonna have an intergenerational conversation. Bam.
You know, it's always one that gonna come up with the new words.
Intergenerational
conversation. Bam. You know what? Make sure somebody write that down. Write it down. Get it. Okay.
We will, Debbie. We're gonna talk to you way before we do it.
Debbie,
we'll announce it in the new year. We have 3 weeks to talk about it, and then we'll introduce it for the new year. Intergenerational conversation.
Woo! You like that, Dustin? I like that. Oh, okay. Well, you good for something over there? Okay. Oh, goodness. All right, so that is it for us tonight, you guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in. We enjoyed this conversation. If you watch the replay and you have questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. Any one of us can answer them for you. And I have an 8-year-old shadow on my wall. Oh, goodness. It's been a night. Kids gone wild all night.
Okay.
Yes. All right, you guys, we're getting off of here.